Hello, everybody. I bet you wondered where I'd gone, didn't you? I had shenanigans again, and whoops. Let's see if I can get this right. Okay, so here we go. Let's see if anybody's going to join me tonight. I don't know. So let's have a look and see. So here we go. Nobody joining me yet. We had shenanigans, so I am not sure. So looks like somebody's joining us there now. So sorry, folks, we had shenanigans. If you are watching live on this, can you put a comment? So if you can hear me, can you put a comment down in the comments so I will know, because I've had shenanigans again tonight. Oh, hello, Kai. Nice to hear you. So I've gone live on Facebook. Okay, that's fine. Was having shenanigans. Was supposed to be live at 8:15, but I couldn't get the code to come in live. So thank you, Kai, for letting me know that I am here. And it is Sunday. Now, last week I said it was the 10th. It wasn't the 10th at all. I told a big fib. So it was the 8th. So I think it must be the 15th today. Is that right? Can you put me right? Am I on the 15th day? Hello, Heather. Nice to see you coming in as well. There we go. That was a bit of shenanigans going on there. So it is Sunday, the 15th of December 2024. And as you can see, I am not at home. I am away again. However, I've been home and I've been back very fast. In the blink of an eye. So when I spoke to you last week on Sunday and I told you it was the 10th, it wasn't the 10th at all. It was the 8th. Silly old me. Now somebody's sending me a messenger message, and if I go on Messenger, I probably will lose you. So oh, thank you, Heather. Thank you, Heather's telling me I'm on Facebook and on YouTube as well. That's brilliant. But somebody's trying to send me a message. I am not going to go and try and look at the message, because if I go and try and look at the message, it probably means I might disappear from the screen. So I'm not going to do that. Oh, look, I've got a little tufty there. So there we go. Okay. So anyway, I am here at last. So last week I came live from here, my daughter's place, where I'm lending some support to the family. And in between times, I have whizzed home and whizzed back again. So basically what happened, I ended up coming to my daughter. I don't know when I came to my daughter's, but, you know, sometimes when your family needs a bit of a support and you have to, you know, just be there for them, that's what I was doing. But I came without my Christmas presents. I came without some of my clothes and all that sort of thing. I came with some clothes, but not enough. And so earlier this week, I decided, at the end of last week, I said to my daughter, would it be okay if I whizzed home for a couple of days and then came back again? And so that's what I did. So I had to stack so many things. Hi, Kath. Was it you sending me a message? Somebody was messaging me on Messenger. I know I messaged you just now, Kath. And then I saw some messages coming in, but I couldn't answer them because I thought if I answered them, I might disappear from the screen, having got onto the screen. So there we go. Right, let's sort my neckline out. Oh dear, oh dear. Can't get the old granny, the go live grannies these days, can you? So anyway, let me see. Yes. So what was I saying? I was saying about, so last week I went live just, oh, thank you, Kath. That's all right then. So last week I went live telling you it was the 10th, but it was only the 8th, so I fibbed. And I had just watched the Strictly results for last week when I last spoke to you. And of course, tonight there were no Strictly results, because Strictly Come Dancing finals was last night and the results were announced last night. And who thought that the right people won last night? Those of you watching Strictly in the UK, if you watched, did you agree with the result? I did. Well, to be honest, it was such a fantastic final, and the judges said it was the best final they'd ever had, and I would not have liked to choose between the dancers last night. They were so good. 3 dances each, 4 couples. That was an amazing evening, like 2.5 hours of Strictly. Wow, didn't I enjoy myself watching on a big screen here? So I really enjoyed it. I'm glad that the winners won. I'm going to say that. I suppose you've all seen the results, but you know what? This time next week, this on Saturday next week, instead of the ordinary Strictly, we're going to have the Christmas special. But do you know what? Somebody's already spoilt that for me, because I was looking at some comments about people talking about last night's winner. And they said, oh, there were spoilers and this and that. And, it spoils the whole thing. And then they went on to spoil and tell me who won the Christmas special, which hasn't aired yet. So I'm not going to tell anybody, because I don't think that's fair. And I was just a bit peeved, because I now know who's won the Christmas special without watching it. And I didn't want to see that. So I was a bit cross. Never mind. It's not life-threatening, is it? So it's not worth losing sleep over. I'm not going to. Anyway, so my week has been rather hectic, because I decided to. That stinks. It does stink, Heather, doesn't it? And the person who spilt the beans was one who was moaning about people who'd spilt the beans on for the main show. So that doesn't make any sense, does it? So there you go. But never mind. It is what it is. So back to the fact that I went home for 2 weeks, not 2 weeks, 2 days. So I went home on Monday, arriving home on Monday afternoon, and I came back on Wednesday. So I was home for all of Tuesday, part of Monday and part of Wednesday. Now, there were various reasons to go home. I needed to bring some Christmas presents that I'd got at home. Again, it wasn't, if I couldn't have got them, it wouldn't have been the end of the world. I did have a home hair appointment that was booked on Wednesday, which I could have cancelled and had my hair done here. And my nails needed doing. I could have had them done here. But actually, it was so easy to do, to whiz home, do everything at home, and then come back. But I was on such a deadline, so I hello, Corrie, nice to see you. So and on Monday, I had no shenanigans. I did not have shenanigans on Monday. I caught the I didn't have any shenanigans. No, I think it was fairly straightforward. And I arrived at Ryde Hoverport on time, so no refund there, but it didn't matter, because I wanted to get home. I wanted to get home and do all those jobs I had stacked up. So the jobs I had to do, or not have to do, but the jobs I was putting in was to be there for my hairdresser on Wednesday, to go on Tuesday and try and get my nails redone, which I did have redone. And look, they've got little bows. I don't know if you can see. This was supposed to be a parcel, and it was supposed to be heavier. Whoops, let's see. You can't see very well. It was when I showed the guy, it was bolder. The bows were bolder, and the little Christmas trees were bolder. But it was, when I showed them, it was on a square nail, and that was supposed to be a parcel with a bow on it. But silly me, I didn't have square nails, did I? So anyway, they're pretty enough. And that's okay. So that was booked in for Tuesday. I also needed to go and buy myself some new things to wear, because, I'm almost at the 3.5 stone loss, and most of the clothes are not fitting me. Hi, Donna, nice to see you. And so I needed particularly some more trousers, because some of my tops were okay. Or I'd bought new tops the other day. I needed new trousers, and so I wanted to go and get some things. So we have a lovely shop that's a garden centre, and it's also got a clothes concession within it. And thank you, Heather. She's saying my nails are adorable. Thank you so much. The thumbs are sparkly. Look, I went for sparkly thumbs. And so I wanted to get to Busy Bee, but before that, I had a lovely time catching up with on Monday. So I had a lot of running around to do, getting home just before about 2:30, 3 o'clock I got home, and then I had friends coming in the evening, particularly, actually, I'm going to announce who was coming because I haven't got my birthday hat, but we need to sing happy birthday for last Monday because Kath's in the broadcast. I don't know if John's listening in the background, but Kath and John came over to see me. They've been very kind to me, very great friends to me. And it was John's 70th birthday. So I think I need to sing. You know, maybe you think I shouldn't need to sing. Maybe some of you don't want me to sing, but I'm going to sing to John, whether he's there or whether he's not. So, Kath, I don't know if he's around, but let's sing to John. All of you sing. I want you to put emojis in the comments as well. Happy birthday emojis. But I haven't got my birthday hat on my glasses. I think they're still at my house, but there you go. Let's sing happy birthday. I haven't even got anything that's vaguely remotely like a birthday hat. No, I haven't. I can't do it. Never mind. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear John. Happy birthday to you. And I'm not gonna clap 70 times or anything like that because we'll be here for quite a while. But John celebrated his 70th birthday, and in that time between getting home and then popping round later, I managed to make a birthday card. My scarf is festive. I've had this a long time, Heather. This was made by Jane Ireland, one of the Go Live Granny community members. I don't know if she watches anymore, but she made me this beautiful scarf and I absolutely love it. Heather's saying she was concerned that there wasn't any sparkle on my nails. Yes, sparkle is there. Look, you can't. And that the little Christmas trees are actually made with it's not showing very clearly. I don't know if I put them nearer, it'll blur, won't it? They're little Christmas trees, but they are in silver metallic, so it is a bit shiny, but not as shiny as I had them last time. But never mind, it's okay. Patricia just come in there from Facebook. Hello, Patricia. Nice to see you. She's saying hi, Lynn, and everyone. So that's lovely. And so Jacqueline Clark's come in. Look, there's emojis for John. Look, all those lovely emojis. We've got cake, and we've got party blowers and streamers and balloons and presents and more streamer things. I think I can't see what they all are because they're all a bit tiny on my screen, but never mind. Nice to see you in, Jacqueline. Thank you. So that was Monday. So we had a lovely catch up. You know, it's always nice to try and catch friends if you can. And we've been like ships that pass in the night, not being there when each other are there. You know, I've been off island when they're there, and they've been off island when I'm there. But, you know, so we had to catch up. We needed to catch up, and that's what we did briefly on Monday. But it was very pleasant. It was such a lovely evening chatting with my friends. And then I had, so Tuesday, all day Tuesday and half of Wednesday is what I had left to get ready to come away, and I don't know when I'm going back. All right, it's not for a while yet. So, and even now I've left some bits behind that I meant to bring with me, but you know, that was quite likely to happen with all the things I had to remember. But on Tuesday I thought, right, I need an early start. I need to get on. I need to go and get my nails done. I need to go to the shop and get some new things to wear because I didn't have much festive stuff in my sort of, you know, smaller size that I am now. So I thought I needed to put that right. And actually, I have got a bag here with some things in. Let's see if I can reach it. Whoops, I can indeed. So I will show you. There we go. Happy birthday, John. Tina says, hi, Lynn. Sorry I'm late. And Tina, you haven't missed very much because I didn't go live. Well, I've been live for about 50 minutes. I didn't go live till nearly 1:30 because I was having issues, Tina. But never mind, we're here now. So I decided that I was trying to go on Tuesday. I was trying to get out first thing. And of course that didn't happen. All the birthday greetings coming in from John. Kath saying happy birthday, John. Look, there we go. Corey's saying happy birthday, John. Let's see. Oh, give us a twirl, Lynn. Oh, I could give you a twirl. Wait a minute. Can I give you a twirl? I'll try. This one you saw before. I did have this top before, this sparkly one. But this one is new. So what happened, I'll give you a twirl in a minute and I'll twirl some other things. So I went, I was trying to get out first thing in the morning. And you know, I eventually got out from my house. Hi, Kim. Eventually got out at about lunchtime. And I went and had my nails done. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I tell a lie. I went to Isle of Wool because you wouldn't believe it, would you? But I needed to buy some wool. I have got stacks and stacks and stacks of wool, but I still needed some wool. And so I went to Isle of Wool and I wanted, oh no, I'm knocking my camera. Sorry, I've knocked the wire and the thing's all tipping over. Sorry about that. So I showed you before that I had some of this lovely wool. Now this is a bargain. Look, it's got green, it's got white, it's got red, it's got all the colours in it, and it's a lovely thick chenille wool. And I came to my daughter's house one day with 3 balls of this, and my grandchildren have relieved me of the 3 balls of this I had, because they suddenly decided that they wanted to do lots of crocheting. And one of my granddaughters took all the green, lots of the green, because it's green and red and white in each ball. Look, each ball's got that, but you can cut off and just use the green, or just use the white, or just use the red, or use it randomly. And one of my granddaughters crocheted a frog with the green and used the white for the bauble bits, and then made eyes on it. So, and my other granddaughter, one of my other granddaughters, made off with it. They suddenly decided to crochet. I taught them to crochet years ago when we were at the caravan, but they did some then, and they haven't done much since. But, you know, a few weeks ago when I first came to sort of help my family out, who's doing a thumbs down? I wonder why I've got a thumbs down. I'd much rather have a thumbs up, you know. Maybe somebody hit the thumbs down by mistake, or maybe we've got a troll in there. But no, let's have thumbs up. Let's have nice things going on there. Anyway, so when I first came, you know, to help family out, I was doing lots of knitting, and I've been knitting. Some of you will see it is a beautiful wool, isn't it, Ailey? And it's 200. It's a 200-gram ball, so it's twice what you normally get on one of these, and that would normally retail at £8.80. And Helen at Isle of Wool is selling them for £4, and she's still got a lot of it. So if anybody wants it, if you do an order that's over £40 for her wool shop, you get free postage. Otherwise, you know, you pay the postage. I don't know what that is, but anyway, so I decided I'd better go and replenish the wool, because I've got some things I want to make with this wool. And since the children had they'd taken it with my permission, you know, I'd given them the 3 balls of wool, so I thought I'd better go and get some more. Well, I wanted more than 3 balls of wool, so I ended up saying to Helen, look, I'm going to order enough to get myself free postage. So this one I haven't opened yet. This is full of this. And this ball, this bag had a lot of it in, but it also had a pink yummy one, because I wanted to make something that was pink, and some, oh, did I get this one in there, or did I get that somewhere else? I'm not quite sure. I can't remember. Some of these are, that's right. So she had some bargains on her shelf as well, and I could never miss up a bargain. You would think I wouldn't need any more double knitting wool. I've got so much, but the ones I run out of are the colours like the whites and the reds, and she'd got these at a bargain price, so I just got those popped in the bag as well. So these these parcels almost arrived back here before I did. Hello, Susan. Your late internet just got back from Portsmouth. Well, I was late starting the broadcast. I've only been going 20 minutes, Susan, because I had shenanigans trying to get online again, as you would. Ailey would say that was £25 for the wool. You mean £25 for a ball of... Well, there we go. Anyway, so I've got some various projects that I'm going to make with that wool. I'm not going to tell you in case anybody who I'm making them for is watching. And I don't like spoiling secrets. So we've got that there. I've had to buy some other wool because I needed something else. I was short of something. Oh, I know. I was running out of brown because I have been making, now these haven't got their holly berries on the top or their holly leaves or their holly berries. These are Christmas pudding chocolate orange colours. Look, there's a chocolate orange. Let's put that in and show you. So I have made so many of these, and thanks very much to Susan, who went and bought some of the oranges for me when they were on offer at £1. You know, because obviously if we're doing fundraising, if we can supply these with a chocolate orange in that's cost only £1 rather than £1.50 or £2, we can do a bit more fundraising. And Susan very kindly went and bought me some of those oranges when they were on offer. But of course, she'd got them where she lived and I hadn't got them at my house. So part of all the shenanigans when I was on the island on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday was that I needed to get the chocolates from Susan. I needed to see Kath and John. I needed to go and get some clothes. I needed my hair done. I needed to get my nails done. When I say I wanted to get my nails done. Also, I needed to fit in giving some of the stuff, some of the knitted stuff that I've made and some of the community made last year that was left over, some knitted stuff, because Embracing Age, one of the Isle of Wight charities, they give a lot of things to people with dementia at this time of year. And I had made some stuff to give them myself this year, and I wanted to give it to Rebecca, who's the coordinator, so they could use it this year. Also, on a Friday, I usually, when I'm not away, I usually do craft with Isle Access Charity. And at Isle Access Charity, there's a lovely lady called Sheila. And she's got so much craft stuff, like, you know, I have to. She's got so much paper crafting. She's paper crafted for years, and she's trying to reduce down her stash. So what she's been doing is making a load of Christmas cards and a load of birthday cards. And she's oh, Heather's saying, I did need to get my nails done because it's self-care, it's a need. Yes, and I think you're right, Heather. You know, the pace at which I do things sometimes, just having a little bit of self-care is quite nice. So having my hair, well, my hair was due for cut, so I have it cut and blow dried, and my hairdresser comes to me. So yes, and then I just go out and get the nails done, and it is about self-care. You're quite right, Heather. I don't, you know, it might sound like I spend an awful lot on me. I don't. I just happen to have bought some new clothes this week. I haven't had any, well, other than a few new clothes I just bought recently because I dropped my weight by nearly 3.5 stone. You can imagine lots of my clothes were going to fall off me. So recently I bought a few. No, I bought some when I dropped 2 stone, but even some of those are too big for me now that I've dropped another 1.5 stone. So, you know, it was almost a case of necessity for new clothes. Otherwise I'd be walking down the street and my trousers would fall down, and that would be a bit embarrassing, wouldn't it? So hello, Sam, nice to see you coming in there from Facebook. Yes, so the clothes were a bit of a necessity, and I wanted some party bits. I hadn't had much for a long time, and so I thought, you know, now I've lost the weight, it would be nice to buy. So I had to fit in, you know, all these things, and so what I did, I finally got out of the house on Tuesday. It was because I was lots of things to do. So it was about. Thank you, Jacqueline. She's saying, blimey, that's amazing. Well done. I've been doing Slimming World a year, just on a year. and 3.5 stone gone in a year. Except I lie. I say 3.5 stone. When I came back, when I weighed in last week, I was a pound off 3.5 stone. And then I went rogue one day. Oh, it was the day I was coming back. It would be quite embarrassing, Shenanigans, if my trousers dropped down, Heather. You're quite right. It would. And I bet somebody would catch it on camera too. Anyway, I've been weighing in at my daughter's Slimming World group, and last week she took me on Friday because I missed my own. So this is the previous week. I missed my own group on Thursday night. So she took me to weigh in on Friday, and I was 1 pound off the 3.5 stone. So I thought, oh, I could work hard this week. I could get that one off, and I could get my 3.5 stone award ready for Christmas present to me. Well, then I went rogue. I tried not to go rogue, but I was coming. The last time I was coming to my daughter's, not this time when I was coming back, but the previous time, I didn't know I was coming to my daughter's, and I had just done a huge order from Morrison's supermarket, and I had loads of fresh food and all sorts of things. I had so much food, and some of it, I gave it to friends. I made soup. I put some in the freezer, but it wouldn't all go in the freezer, so I gave some away. And because I didn't want to waste it. So this time I knew I was going back, so I didn't get any food in extra. I just kept it to the bare bones. But of course that meant I didn't have Slimming World healthy stuff for my picnic coming back this way from the island to here on Wednesday, and I had to go rogue. Oh, Jacqueline, coat shopping. Do you remember, was it? Now, I'm going to ask Jacqueline here on here. Jacqueline, was it you that sorted me out with a lovely purple coat? I'm just asking because I had a mental blip. I had a lovely purple coat, and then I grew a bit too big for it. But I didn't throw it away. I kept it and put it on the hook. Somebody else gave me a lovely black coat that was lovely and warm and cozy and did fit me when I was big. But now, of course, it's absolutely humongous on me. Far too big. So I left that. The purple coat was still hanging up. And I knew that somebody had helped me get it. And I couldn't remember. Now, Jacqueline, you're being a bit of an aide memoir, and I think it was to do with you. Did you give me that coat? Did you get it for me? I think you did. And you can message me privately later if not. But I knew, I was pretty sure. I keep having this fog, brain fog, where I forget. So Jacqueline said we have to go coat shopping, and I think that's a bit of a reference to something we did once before. Anyway, this purple coat that I had from before is still perfect. It's perfect, and now it fits me. And thank you, Jacqueline. She's saying yes, it fits me, and it does up, and it's lovely and warm. So I wear that. I pop this on, which Jacqueline Ireland made me and sent me. If I get cold, I put this on over. I did have a hat. The hats were falling down. So I can put this on over here and make it like a hat if it's very cold. So I don't get cold when I'm travelling. You hope it's seeing your friend Jean on Tuesday, Sam. Well, I hope you do as well. I hope that will be nice, won't it? So yes, so I don't need to get a new coat now, Jacqueline. That will save me pennies. I could buy something else instead. So thank you. But yes, thank you for what you did before. So that gift that you gave me before is coming back in again now to be reused again. Really pleased with it because it's a lovely, lovely coat. So that was, so I didn't need to go coat shopping, but I did need to go sparkly shopping, which I bought this the week before, if you remember. I've already shown you that one. But what I haven't shown you, look, I've got sparkly trousers. So I did finally get out on Tuesday. And so I went down to town. I went into the wool shop, which is halfway down Ride. That's the halfway point. And then my nail tech people are right at the bottom of Union Street, which goes right down to the sea. So I went into the wool shop. I got my wool. I paid for my wool, and do you know what? This was almost on its way to the post office even before I'd left Isle of Wool. So she got that packaged up. This arrived with me on Thursday. I got back on Wednesday, and this was came on Thursday. So no shortage of wool for those bits and pieces. So that was good. So then I was going down Union Street, and I popped into Bellissima. Bellissima's another nice dress shop, and that's where I bought that lovely, the one that I first tried on when I lost the first lot of weight, and everybody gave me so many compliments. It was amazing. So that was the white one with the big petticoat underneath and the big purple flowers and all that. So that came from Bellissima. So I thought, oh, I'll pop into Bellissima. So I popped in, but actually I didn't stop. I didn't really stop to shop, because I told the nails people I was on my way. What size am I? Well, Jacqueline, it varies, because some things I've bought are 16s, but things don't always come up in the same sort of sizes. So the trousers, these sparkly trousers, are a 20, but in other things I'm an 18 or a 16 now. So it just depends on the fit. Whereas I used to be a 22, I've just got smaller, and I'm pretty pleased with how I am in my own skin now. It just depends on the fit of them. And it's really quite nice when you see a size 16 on the label, when you've been a 20 or 22. But I feel so good. That's the thing. It's not about what the size that's on the label. It's about how you feel as well, isn't it? So I'm really, really pleased. And of course, I'm now not buying baggy stuff that you tend to buy when you're bigger. Tend to buy baggy stuff. I'm not being baggy. I don't know if I can stand. I'm not sitting on the bed. I don't know if I can do this. Let's have a look. Oh, there's probably too much junk on the bed. Whoops. I don't know. Oh no, it's too difficult. It's too difficult. I'll take some pictures and we'll put them up. But so anyway, I went past Bellissima, went to the nail shop, had my nails done. He took rather a long time this time. It was a bit, I wanted to get busy and crack on. But anyway, had my nails done, then decided to go a little bit back up to Bellissima, and I bought this nice, this is a lovely soft jumper. I used to wear loads of, polo necks like this. A long time ago, I used to wear lots of these. And then somebody said, oh, you should have your neck out. I mean, it's probably a bit years ago. They said, oh, what a nice neck you've got. You should have, you should have lower necklines and not have all this. So I did that for a while. But actually, now in the winter, it's lovely to have this up here. But also, if I want to be indoors and I used to wear lots of drop earrings, lots of sparkly earrings. And I haven't worn them for a long time because I was wearing a lot of scarves at my neck to keep warm. And of course, if you wear a scarf, the earrings get caught in the scarf, and it's a bit dodgy to, then you get tied up with the scarf. So I thought, well, let's try this. So I bought this, but that was just one thing I bought in there, because I was very keen then to get round to Busy Bee, and I knew that they shut at, well, I thought they shut at 5. Now it's somewhere now like 2:30, getting towards 3 o'clock. And I knew that in Busy Bee I was going to do a fair bit of shopping, because it's a garden centre, but it's also got lots and lots of different things in it. So it's got the clothes concession downstairs. It's got a bedding concession down in that department as well. There's a winter wonderland with all the Christmas decorations, and I did some live streaming or some photos around there before, with all these Christmas things coming to life and singing and all that sort of thing, and Christmas decorations galore. Yeah. So it was, I just wanted a long time in Busy Bee. And so I didn't stay too long in Bellissima, and I got myself a taxi, because otherwise I would have had spent a long time. It was a very cold day that day, I remember, and of course I've had pneumonia, so I don't like being out in the bitter cold. And it was Friday, last Friday, the 13th. It was 2 years to the day that I had to go into hospital very quickly with pneumonia, and those wonderful people at St Mary's Hospital on the Isle of Wight saved my life. So going and getting cold was not an option. So I booked a taxi to take me from Bellissima round to Busy Bee, because that saved me going and having to get on the buses. Heather's saying she's glad my nail person took their time to give me a little bit of extra downtime. Don't want you getting run down. No, thank you very much. That's okay. And Kath saying, Susan, have you been doing something nice in Portsmouth? I expect she's been shopping probably. So anyway, so I got to Busy Bee and I thought I wanted to get some presents and things. But I thought, first of all, I'm going to the clothes department. So I whizzed around the clothes department, and it's quite a big department there. And I picked up loads and loads of different things to try. I wasn't going to buy loads and loads and loads, but I picked up loads of things to try, so I didn't have to keep going in the changing room and coming out and all this palaver. So I loaded up the trolley. The lady in there knows me, and we had a quick chat, and I said, I'm going to go and try these things on. So I tried a lot of them on, and a lot of them I was able to reject straight away, and then put the other ones I thought, oh, that'll do though. And then one or two of them I needed a different size, so I sort of looked out from the changing room and waved to the lady across there, and she went and changed the size for me. So I got a lovely go over this, but I haven't got it here now because I think it's down in the wash. I bought a lovely purple jumper. And it's a lowish neck, but it looks lovely over this. This is a plain pink, cerise pink, and it was plain, but it's got. You'll see it another day. I'll take pictures and put it on social media, and it's got sparkly bits here, so it's sparkly and on there, which is nice. And I found some nice jogging trousers. Well, they're not jogging. They look a bit jogging trousersy, but they were thick. They were lovely, thick trousers, and they were navy and really warm, and they got 4 pockets. They put so many pockets in these things. It's lovely. So I whittled it quite down, and then I did find some bits and pieces. So one of the things I got was this. Look, a nice sparkly jumper. There we go. Another sparkly jumper. I won't put that over the pink, but I will find something nice. I think I've got something here that I can put that over. So that's a nice red and gold. Is it gold? Yes, red and gold sparkly. And a lot of these were very reasonably priced, which is lovely because obviously I don't want to spend a fortune. But that was good. So that was my jumper, and look what I've got now. Oh, you love that, Lynn. It makes your face like a thank you. Let's go back. Let's see. Sam's got it talking about getting emotional when Chris was dancing his waltz last night on Strictly. We'll come back to Strictly in a minute. Susan's saying Kath was asking about Susan going to Portsmouth. So those of you who don't know, Susan and I live on the Isle of Wight, and Portsmouth you have to get on a ferry across the water to go to Portsmouth. So those of you who don't live in the UK and don't know, and Kath and Susan saying, thanks, Kath. I've been to watch the massed bands of the Royal Marines at the Guildhall. It was the Portsmouth and Collingwood bands, and it was fantastic. Had planned to go to the shops, but didn't work out. Next time, maybe. Well, you would have had a cheaper trip to the out than I did, because I did do shopping, but maybe you'll do your shopping next time. And yes, I forgot to say, I got to Tuesday without finishing Monday, didn't I? So I was saying that my friends came over, Kath and John came over to catch up. We had a catch up, but very kindly on their way to me, they went via Susan to pick up all the chocolate oranges to put in my chocolate orange covers that Susan had very kindly bought for me at the shops that I couldn't get to in time because I don't have a car. So, you know, it's everybody working together. It's wonderful to see so many kind people. So that was a bit of the rush on Monday, and Kath and John did that for me. That was wonderful. Hello, Abby's saying hi, Lynn, very nice. Kath saying sounds wonderful, Susan. Hi, Lisa. Lisa's saying lovely. Kath saying nice clothes, Lynn. Susan saying it was nice. That's the music. Thank you. Kath also saying she got emotional all the way through strictly. And then Jacqueline saying ferry. Wow, that's posh. Do you mean what's posh? Oh, this what? I don't know what you meant was posh, Jacqueline. Maybe was it this? Anyway, look at what I bought. Look, I wanted some sparkly trousers. Look, I have got black sparkly trousers. Isn't that wonderful? So I can sparkle through Christmas now. And as I say, I've not. Well, now these are size 16, so that is really makes it even better. But I did buy. I wasn't sure with the top, and I'm silly. I've got a white top like that, sparkly, that would actually go with that. But of course, it's at home, and I didn't think about that. So I tried on the black top. Look, this is the top that goes with the trousers. But they didn't have a 16. They only had an 18. So I've bought the 18, but I was in a rush and I was thinking like that, and I thought, oh well, I could make a little, you know, I can make a little alteration to it. And then I thought, you know what, I've got the white one, I don't need to do this. I'm going to save this and take it back. I'll take that one back because I don't really. She didn't have the 16. And I didn't try and squeeze into the 14. And so, yeah, I had seen black sparkly online. I'd seen black sparkly that Marks and Spencer's and other places were doing them. And I just kept my fingers crossed that they had some in black sparkly in Busy Bee, and they did. So I'm thrilled to bits with those. They're a bit long. I'm going to have to turn them up a bit, the same as the ones that I've got on, the ones that I showed you just now, these sparkly ones. So these are a very nice warm material, so I can wear these ones when, you know, out and about, if I want to sparkle out and about. Yes, Lisa's saying take it back. Lisa is the master of buying clothes and taking them back. I spent a long time with Lisa one summer, and the clothes she bought and the clothes she took back, she amused me every time, but it didn't matter, you know, that's what she did. So Patricia's saying, well, very sparkly, I love it all, but nowhere to wear it to. I'm just going to wear it for Christmas with the family. My little grandchildren will love all the sparkles on that, and I love it, and it makes me sparkle. So there we go. Getting an exclusive, or should I say elusive? I say elusive. Oh, okay, that's lovely. So there we go. Very smart. Size 16, even better. Absolutely. So there you are. So that was the extent. I don't think I bought anything. Oh, I did buy a purple one to go over that, but I can't show you that because it's down in the wash at the moment. So I'm going to sparkle for Christmas. There we go. That's it. No, I don't care. No, don't need any excuses. I'm just going to do it. There we go. It's good times. I don't know whether Lisa's referring to the good times we had back when we used to go off and buy all sorts of clothes. Lisa and I did a lot of touring around the country when I was selling my books and she was selling jewellery, and we went off and we did all these things at country fairs and we went all over the country, didn't we, Lisa? And Heather's saying you don't need a specific special occasion when being with family or just yourself is special occasion enough. Absolutely, that's it. There we go. And Sam's gone back to Strictly, and he's saying he thinks Sydney Christmas will do Strictly next year. Maybe she will. I heard her singing the other day. That was really nice. So anyway, you've seen all my clothes shopping. But in between times, yes, just sparkle at home. Absolutely. Yes, sparkle at home. Lisa's saying she remembers it well. That trip, I don't know how many years ago was that, Lisa. It was, well, I haven't been driving. so I haven't been driving. My license expired at 70, and I was not driving between, that's right, when I was 60. So it was before I was 60. So I'm 74 now. So we're talking a long time ago, aren't we, Lisa? So what happened when I was so I had a van, 2003. My goodness, how did you remember that, or did you have it written down somewhere, Lisa? Because my memory is not so good as that. So she's saying it's 2003. So, gosh, that's 21 years. Oh wow. Anyway, we had a lot of fun going around the country and doing all sorts of adventures and things. And because I was touring around selling books, I bought a van. I exchanged my car and I got a van. And we used to go off around the country in my van that was loaded up with books and that. The year you got married, 21 years ago, Abby. Right, okay. And then we so we went off and doing all these country shows and things around, and we used to stay in farmhouses, and we had a lot of fun. We did all sorts of things. And what was I going to say? Oh yes, so we were I forgot where I was going with that conversation. What was I going to say about it? Oh yeah, about not driving. So then so what happened, that's how I was trying to work out how long it was that I wasn't driving. Because when I'd stopped going, that's right, when I'd stopped driving around the country and doing all that, I still had my van because I needed a vehicle. I didn't have a vehicle, so I kept the van. I had a Citroen Dispatch. So not the smallest van, but the next one up. It was lovely. I loved it. Sometimes when Lisa wasn't with me, I used to do. I was still traveling around, and I would go drive up country, put on Classic FM, and be like in my little. It was like it being in my little concert hall. I put Classic FM on the radio, and I'd drive up the country. Very soothing to drive to that music, and then I would come to maybe a service station. And I hate spending. Yes, it was Usborne Books, Abby. I hate spending all that money on all those coffees. Like, well, now it's like a £5 a time at least, isn't it? So I used to take a flask of water, and then I would have a jar of coffee. And in those days we had Coffee Mate or something like that. So if I would get to. This was when I was on my own doing it. I would get to a service station. I would make the coffee in the cup. Leave it on the floor of the van, go off and spend a penny, come back, and then my coffee was ready to drink. Oh, Lisa's saying I did that as well. We did the drinks as well, even when I was with her, because we didn't like to spend all that money. We were trying to make a living, and there's no point in making a living and then spending all your money on expensive coffees in service stations. So that didn't make any sense. Hi Tracy, she's sorry she's late, just got home. You've been to the mainland for the day visiting family and doing present swaps. Hope you've had a lovely time, Tracy. I've been showing what I've been doing. I am on the mainland. I am with family. But I nipped home very briefly for that, and that's what I was talking about. I nipped home on Monday. No traffic, no shenanigans on the transport getting home. Got home without shenanigans. That was amazing. Coming back the other way wasn't without shenanigans, but a bit of shenanigans. But before we get to that, let's just finish what I did what I was doing on Thursday. So I was. That's it, Lisa. Oh yes, Lisa was even more cheeky than me. She's saying she used to get hot water and put the tea bags in it. So she'd actually go into a restaurant or somewhere like that and say, "Oh, can I have a cup of hot water?" That's right. And then she'd put her tea bag in it and make her own tea. You did it for me as well, didn't you, Lisa? So yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. And then, do you remember, Lisa? What was it? 2000, end of 2003? Was it Christmas 2003 that we spent in Scotland? We drove all the way to Scotland. I had to do all the driving because Lisa didn't drive, so all the driving was down to me. But it was lots of fun. We didn't mind, and so we spent Christmas and New Year in Scotland, because while we were doing these shows together, one of the exhibitors kept appearing at lots of the different shows we did, and it was people. No, I'm not back for Christmas, Tracy. I'm away now, probably till into the new year. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to be when. I'll private message you. I don't know. I'll private message you when I know. Lisa said it was a very challenging time. It was. We both had various challenges going on in our lives, and we decided to take off and go and do these things. And so it was. So we decided that because when we were at the country shows, we used to see these people who were advertising their hotel in Scotland. Hello, Elizabeth. Elizabeth just arrived as well. Nice to see you in, Elizabeth, here. I don't see Steve, the window cleaner, Steve. He's not in the house. I think it's his weekend for travelling. He's got a friend. He and his friend, they travel one week, one the next week. So I think it's his turn for being travelling. He'll watch the replay. So Sam's saying Sydney Christmas and Sam Bailey are your idols. That's good, Sam, for sharing that. Don't worry about being late, Elizabeth. It's not like school. You come and go as you like, and if you want to watch the replay, you can, and if you don't want to, it doesn't matter. So anyway, yeah. So let's just go back to that year when we decided that since we had so many challenges going on in our lives where we lived. Lisa had her challenges, I had my challenges. They were separate challenges, not to do with each other, but we decided to take off for Christmas and New Year. And we went to this hotel that we'd seen being promoted at all the county shows we did, and the hotel they were promoting was actually in Scotland. It was was it in Fort William, Lisa? I can't remember, but I know that we were in Fort William on Christmas Eve. Now this time we weren't in a van, were we? We weren't in a van. We were in a car. Lisa had a car. She didn't drive, but she had a car, and I drove her car. There we go. Elizabeth saying she's got her challenges at the moment. Yes, I know, Elizabeth. And if you want to private message me, for I can chat with you online if you need that. So many people have challenges so much of the time, and it's just about talking to each other and keeping each other's mental health going. So, I mean, one of the reasons I do these live streams is to help with people's mental health as well. Abby's saying we used to have customers come in McDonald's and ask for the tea bag on the top. Oh, right. Excellent, Abby. Yes, different ways. Lisa's saying yes, and Loch Orr. So she remembers where we went. So anyway, I'm just gonna blow Elizabeth a kiss. She's got challenges going on. Anybody who's got challenges, let's send you all. Lots of you I know have got challenges. So Elizabeth saying it means that it's good to talk. If any of you have got challenges that are so challenging, just drop a message. I know that several people in this community will be happy to chat with other members if you connect with each other, and just keep a conversation going. Sometimes that's all it needs to make you feel feel better, feel that people care, and in this community we do care. So there we go. Anyway, so let me see where it's going. Oh yes, so we went Fort William. I remember driving. Oh no, I was stationary, I think, wasn't I, Lisa? And we were in a car park in Fort William on Christmas Eve, and somebody decided to reverse into the car. I don't think they did much damage, did they, Lisa? I can't remember. But I can remember driving down near this lock, and there was no lights at all other than on our car. And I think, didn't we have car trouble as well? I think at one point, I can't remember it very well, but we were near this lock. And I was so terrified because it was so dark we couldn't see, and I was frightened. I knew there was a lock to the right of me, and I knew I mustn't go that way or we'd end up in the lock. We didn't, as you can tell. We're still here to tell the tale. But yes, she remembers that. But that Christmas Eve, it was absolutely pouring with rain. It was such a miserable day. Anyway, we had a nice Christmas, didn't we, Lisa? And then we had, of course, in Scotland, they do Hogmanay, and we were there for New Year and the Hogmanay. So that was, that was a nice thing. But, and then we came home, and life was what it was. here we are all these years later, very different situations going on. But you know, Lisa saying it was a horrible place. Do you mean the hotel was horrible, or do you mean that the darkness was horrible? We had a great New Year. So I think she means that darkness. You know, we were in the dark, and I was not used to having no street lights or anything, and no lighting except on the car. It was a bit scary, but we were fine. We had each other, fortunately. We lived to tell the tale. And I had no idea that you were going to pop in the broadcast tonight, Lisa. I had totally not thought about that. She means Fort William is a horrible place. It wasn't the nicest for us on that day. I'm sure there are people who love Fort William, but for us on that day, it wasn't very nice, was it? Anyway, so that was what happened to us in 2003, going into 2004. And here we are 21 years later, nearly going into 2025. I think this year my New Year's Eve is going to be with my family, welcoming in the new year. And I think a lot of people, not just my family, a lot of people are very keen to see the back of 2024 and coming into 2025 with something, you know, something better on the cards. Let's say that would be nice. So anyway, we will see. Life is what it is, and you have to make the best of it. You know, which is why I try to get my sense of humor to make people smile, because I know there are a lot of people who don't feel they want to smile at the moment. And I know, what was it? Oh yes, I was with somebody, you know, who wasn't feeling very bubbly and smiley. Somebody quite close to me, and I decided, come on, I've got to make them laugh. And I came up with some funny. This week I've been trying to get out my best joke book and all my best funny lines and things, and I did manage to make said person laugh. And I said, oh, mission accomplished. If I can make somebody smile, that's what I feel, you know, is something to do. Anyway, so that's it. So that's all, you know, past Christmases and New Year's. Then of course I will. I came back here. So we were still on Tuesday, weren't we? That's right. So I bought all these lovely. I bought my lovely sparkly things, and then I needed to go and buy some presents, and so I was having a quick whiz round, and I said to somebody, "What time do you close?" This is Busy Bee. And she said 5 o'clock. What she should have said was, we shut the doors for people coming in at 5 o'clock, but you don't have to go through the tills till 5:30. So there's 2 floors in this. No, there's not. There's 3 floors in Busy Bee. There's the one right at the bottom that's just like a small step down from one of the floors, and that's all the Christmas winter wonderland and all the Christmas decorations. So I whizzed down there. Night, Lisa. Nice to see you in the broadcast. So I went down there. I didn't mean to go down there. I got in the lift to come from the ground floor to... Wait a minute, where do you go? You go in the ground floor and then you go... How do you go? Oh, you go down. That's right. Come in the ground floor and then you go down. And I didn't mean to go right down to the bottom. I went down to the bottom. I wasn't going to go in the Christmas department, but then I did, and I found some bits. Of course, I found some bits to buy. They were so beautiful and all sparkly and shiny, you know, and I have to look at all the sparkly, shiny stuff. Even though I'd been there more recently with Kat and John, and I all went in there some weeks ago, and we went round there and it was all sparkly and shiny, and I just wanted to go around there again. I didn't think I did, but when I got in the lift and went down to that floor, I thought, oh well, I'll go in here, but I haven't got a lot of time. I want to get all these Christmas presents. So I did a bit, bought some things on that floor, and then went up to the next floor where they had wool. I don't think I bought... Oh yes, I did buy some wool in that shop. Unbelievable. I don't need any more wool, but that wool wasn't for me. This wool is for one of my grandchildren. So look, I bought lots of these little tiny balls of wool. I always buy new Christmas bits every year. So I haven't got Christmas decorations up at home because I'm not there. So we're going to do our Christmas decorations, I think, tomorrow here. So I did buy wool. Look, I bought lots of... This is from one of my granddaughters who's just doing all the crocheting. So I got got a bag of all those small balls of chenille wool, and then I've got, I hope she can't hear me because she's in the other room, and then I've got some little cotton ones for her to do lots of crochet, and I've got some crochet books that I brought with me that might fit a bit. So I did that. So I bought wool, and then they have a whole range of bath bombs, and some of my family love bath bombs, and obviously because I've been knitting so many chocolate orange colours, I might give some of my family chocolate oranges on the Christmas table, but we don't. We have so many different diets in our family. So you know, I'm my daughter and I are on Slimming World. We've got vegans in the family. We've got a celiac. We've got, you know, I tend to not try not to have wheat and that sort of thing. So we have so many different things. So you can't just put a chocolate orange on the table for everybody in the family, because that doesn't work. But these covers are so nice when they're all finished. So what else will go in there? Well, what else will go in there is a bath bomb. So you could have some with bath bombs in. So I did buy. Oops, let's see if I can reach in the bag. Sorry, folks, I'm bobbing down here. I have to see. I've got the things hidden in this room. Oh, hang on. Oh dear. So these smell beautiful. Look. So I think, let's see. We might find it doesn't fit. It will fit. Look. The bath bombs will fit in the cozies. Look. So that's a bath bomb in that one. But I won't put it next to the chocolate orange because it smells beautiful, but I don't want to make the chocolate smell. I've got to put holly and berries on this yet. So there's a bath bomb. And there's another bath bomb. Look, there's one with a cheeky elf on it. And talking of cheeky elves, have you been watching my Facebook page? My daughter and I said to each other, whose silly idea was it to start doing elves this year? It might seem, you know, a fun idea to do, but when you're trying to get to bed at 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning, because that's when you've stopped watching the TV, or you've fallen asleep on the sofa, or you've been trying to get the washing done, or whatever it is, whose silly idea was it to have the elves and trying to think up something new every night? You know, we've been Googling elves and elves on shelves and finding some of the best ideas that are the simplest ideas. Then one night I fell asleep and my daughter did the elf, you know, she took charge of the elves, and she was really tired. And I think she was tired, and then she fell asleep. Then she woke up. Thought, I haven't done the elves, and so she got a toilet roll and pushed it down the stairs and sat the elves there. The naughty elves, you know, they do get up to mischief. But last night I didn't bring it up here because I thought I might spill it. But last night, this is what it was. It says, we tried to bring you a snowman and he melted. And these guys were sitting next to the sign. There was a dish with water in it and a little piece of carrot that would have been a nose for a snowman, and some googly eyes that would have been the snowman's eyes. And then I had bought, because I knew that they would come in useful, I had bought from Temu some little scarves, tiny little scarves, and tiny little bobble hats. And they went in a dish as well, because it was all part of the snowman. So if you want to see what that looks like, look on my Go Live Granny Facebook page and you'll see what that happened last night. The night before we had a cup with a brown letter T in it and a plate with some letter E cut out of brown card. So they had made tea in the cup, a tea, and brown E's. Lots of brown E's. Some of these ideas are stolen. One or two of them I've actually done myself. The night before that, they had been making like paper chains but out of ribbon. I just happened to find some ribbon, and they happened to take it from me and make it into paper chains. So we've been having fun. Some nights it wasn't so much fun when we was just so tired, and we thought, what have we done? And then we read that some mummies and daddies get fed up with it halfway through, and then they tell the children that the elves have gone back to help Santa. I think that's a cop out and a cheat. I think we're having as much fun, and don't forget, most of the children in this household are older children. they like it. They like it. But they, in fact, I've challenged one of them to help us do it. So we've got to think of some more things. But that was a bit fun this morning, having a melted snowman. So Susan's saying she saw one where the elves took residence in the air fryer for somewhere to sleep. We can't let them do that at the moment because it hasn't been cleaned out, and the children were making chips earlier, and no, they were doing bacon in there, and there's a lot of grease in there. So I think we might have to wait and do that one. So we've got a few more ideas up our sleeve, but if you've got anything that's quick and easy, do let us know. Oh, I have got some little outfits for them. I don't think they're here. Are they here on the? No, I don't think they're here. Are they here? No. They're somewhere around here. So oh no. Jacqueline's saying sorry, just looked at the news, and a vicar over in Leon-Solent has told children there is no Santa Claus. Can you please tell everyone that Santa is real? Well, if you don't believe, you won't get anything. St. Nicholas on the BBC. I shall have a look at that. I don't like that very much. So Ailey says she lost signal. It's very cold and windy in Scotland. She loves the elves so much. So yes, so we do too. And I actually brought my own elf with me. This is my elf has travelled around with me a lot in the past. Several years ago, he travelled up and down from the Isle of Wight with me, and but I'm not mixing him with the other elves because I think he's a less mischievous one, than they are, than these naughty ones over here. Look. So they are quite naughty, but they're naughty, but not always naughty. Sometimes they just do fun stuff as well. So anyway, so today, no, wait a minute, I haven't told you, did I? So that's right. So I still didn't tell you about coming back on Wednesday. Oh, you're going to send me the link. Thank you. Tracy's saying her cousin started Elf on the Shelf and did the first 3 days, and my little cousin got so freaked out that they had to stop. Oh, bless. That's it. Yes, I mean, you've got to be careful what you do so you don't scare the little darlings. But, I mean, there are a lot of fun ones around. So, it is. But I just think if you can have fun with it, it's good. If it's scary, it's not so fun. It's not good. Anyway, so I rushed around. That's right. I was still in Busy Bee. I rushed around. I bought some bath bombs. I bought some other bits and pieces of presents and things. I'd got some presents I'd already bought. And do you know what? I've even come here without some of the presents that I'd already bought. A few bits and pieces I'd bought, and they're in a box at home, but never mind, they'll come in again. It's not the end of the world. It's not life-threatening. Jacqueline, can you drop that link in my messenger box, because otherwise I've got to come back and scroll all the way through the comments to see it, whereas if you drop it in my messenger box, I could look at it without having to scroll all the way through. So that would be wonderful for me to see that. And I think what a miserable person trying to spoil it. Is he the Grinch or something? Sounds like it, doesn't it? So anyway, yes, so I whizzed around. There was because I have an app, I have the app and a reward card for Busy Bee. There was a freebie plant. Well, of course there was. I'd got to get back to the mainland with all the presents and all the things I needed to bring. And then you have to balance a plant on the top, don't you? Why wouldn't I? You know, why make it easy for myself? Why not forget the free plant? But no, it was free, so I wanted it. So I had it, and it got here safely. Surprise, surprise. I don't know how it did. It was only a small plant, but it got here safely. Thank you, Jacqueline. She's going to do that. So Ailey's saying she's forever sharing out on the community page, and I believe in Santa and the Tooth Fairy, and definitely believe in the elves, as there's lots of elves besides Loch Ness, and you believe in the Loch Ness monster. Absolutely. There we go. So that's Ailey over there in Scotland. So yes, so I managed to do a fair bit. But then I was conscious of the time, and it had sort of gone past 5 o'clock, and I thought, oh, I better they'd be making an announcement that you've got to get out of the shop soon. So I was very mindful of that, and I was sort of went down to the lower level where you go out of the shop, or the level where you go out the shop, and I worked my way to the till by about 5:15. But actually, when I got to the till, they said, no, you didn't need to be here till 5:30. So I could have had more time whizzing around the shops. Anyway, at that point, I rang a taxi to take me and my baggages home. And then I had to do lots of bits and pieces. I had to go get, look in the flat, find all the bits that I'd had, find some of the bits that I wanted, because I still got some craft stuff to do for Christmas, and I wanted to gather those bits up. And not everything was in a tidy space at home. I still had to find all those things. And then so that was Tuesday, and then Wednesday. Oh, so also while I was home, I told you I wanted to see. So I had these I mentioned before, didn't I, that Sheila, who comes to the craft group on a Friday morning, wanted to give me a lot of greetings cards to give to the Embracing Age charity. But she could only give them to me via the Isle Access hub on a Friday. And Jan messaged me and said, oh, I've got a lot of greetings cards to give you from Sheila, and she's not going to take them home. I said, I'm not home. I said, but I will be home for 2 or 3 days. So Jan was going to pop them around to me. And then Rebecca from Embracing Age was going to come and collect them. So I had to coordinate all these things of people popping stuff into me, getting the chocolate oranges from Susan and getting them to my house. So getting those cards and getting them to my house. Then Rebecca coming to my house to get the cards, and getting all the gifts that I'd made and that had been left over from the Go Live Granny community in previous years. All these lovely gifts, they all got passed over to Rebecca at Embracing Age, and she was delighted. And she has put up a credit, which she said to me and the community, but it's definitely not just me, it's me and the community. Because lots of you, some of you even watching now, made stuff last year or the year before, and they were still in the box. We'd given loads of stuff away or sold loads of stuff, but there were still some bits in the box. So I passed it all over to Rebecca, and she was absolutely delighted. Thank you, Jacqueline. She's just messaged me if I could. Right. Okay, thank you, Jacqueline. Yes, I'll look at that when I finished on here. Ailey sent me a card and a gift. Thank you very much, Ailey. You like to share happy memories on the community pages. Yes, it's always nice to share the happy memories, isn't it? I try to share more happy stuff. I don't like really the miserable negative stuff, but that's how it is. Some people thrive on the negatives, but you know what? I started doing the live streaming on the Go Live Granny community in COVID because so much negative stuff was going on at 10 o'clock on the news, that's when I started doing my Go Live Granny community, Go Live Granny community broadcasts, just to be upbeat, so that we could be upbeat and a bit happier about all these horrible things going on in the world. The news is on at 10. You don't want to look at that horrible stuff. Come and watch me over on YouTube and Facebook. And that's how it all started. And I was actually recounting that to somebody today, somebody I met for the first time today, and I was saying I was a live streamer, and then I was telling her how it all started and how we supported each other in COVID and all that sort of thing. So that was quite interesting. Anyway, so I managed to get home, and I was a bit of I think I felt a bit of a wreck as well by the time I'd done all that running around and getting everything. And then on Wednesday morning, I was supposed to be having somebody come at 10 o'clock, because in all this shenanigans of what's been going on in my life recently and coming and going and supporting my family and all that, I've had a stair lift put in, and I've had a wet room. Like, my bathroom is no longer a bathroom. It's now like a wet room with a lovely big shower and a very posh toilet and all that sort of thing. And so the council had to sign it off, because I was lucky enough to have a grant for it, and it needed signing off, and it could not. The people wouldn't get paid who'd done the work unless it got signed off. And I was mindful of that. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come home and get it signed off. So that lady, I had to fit that lady in as well on Wednesday, and she sort of got the time a bit wrong. So she ended up there at the same time as my hairdresser, but that didn't matter, because she went and did the photographs she needed to do while Jane was doing my hair, and it all sorted out all right. So that all happened. She was happy. She went on her merry way. Jane and I sat and had coffee after she'd done my hair. Rebecca came and collected all the stuff to go off for Embracing Age, and she was thrilled to bits with what we'd done. I also gave her, some months ago, I knitted a box of knitted fruit, because they were making dementia boxes, and have all these sorts of things in boxes themed. So I did a theme of fruit in my box, and then she wanted themed stuff to go in boxes, so that the people who work with people with dementia have a point of conversation and they talk about these things in boxes. Then a lot of the other stuff that came from the Go Live Granny, all the different bits and pieces, she went and got some boxes, and she made up dementia boxes, fiddle boxes, like fiddle muffs, but people with dementia love to fiddle with the different textures and different wools and things. And so she's made up, and that's that. I have got that on my Facebook page, on my Go Live Granny Facebook page somewhere. So she has thanked the community for that, and that's amazing. So now all the stuff that anybody ever gave me for Go Live Granny, that's all gone out to charities. A lot went in previous years. This was just the last of any bits and pieces that were left over. So that was lovely. The lovely 12 knits of Christmas, based on the 12 days of Christmas, but all knitted. That I donated last year to to Embracing Age, so that they could give it to one of the care homes to put up in the care home. And the care home that had it last year did an amazing job and put all these things up, put it all out on social media. I don't know whether, I must check with Rebecca to see if they've moved it on to another care home this year, so that it will give a lot of people a lot of pleasure. So that's what we were doing, during COVID, I think, or at the end of COVID, we were making all those things. And we displayed it, actually, it must have been out of COVID, because we displayed it in the Isle of Wool, and then I've donated it on, so that's wonderful. While I was away, Ailey's just no, that's not what she's reminding me about. While I was away, last weekend, the Christmas Tree Festival happened on the Isle of Wight, and it was amazing. I shared loads of that. Of course, I wasn't there this year, but loads and loads of Christmas trees all around Brighton area of the Isle of Wight. An amazing Christmas Tree Festival that had been run years and years. Well, so one group of people started it in the first place, and then Chris Goodman took it over and ran it for years and years and years and years, and it raised thousands of pounds for charity. Then Chris wanted to hang up his Christmas Tree Festival boots, And so it didn't happen the next year, but then the following year, Emily and Diane stepped into those very large boots. They were very large boots to fill, but they've done an amazing job last year and this year on the Christmas Tree Festival, and it will just grow and grow again now. So that's amazing. What's this? Joke time. How much does Santa pay to park the answer is nothing, because it's always on the house. His sleigh is always on the house. There we go. She watched Church on the Roundabout Christmas Carol service tonight. It was excellent and well worth watching. So Ailey's in Scotland watching the live stream of Church on the Roundabout on the Isle of Wight. So that was wonderful. And she's remembering that all the work we put into the 12 days of the 12 knits of Christmas, based on the 12 days of Christmas. It was amazing. So that's brilliant. Today, so yes, so anyway, all that rushing around Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I got to the hover in time on Wednesday. The previous time I'd gone to the hover, I nearly missed it, but we were okay, just by the skin of my teeth, with help from friends. This time I'd got there in enough time, and I had Navy Nora and 6 bags, some of which I'd attached to Navy Nora. I clipped them on. So because I was bringing back presents and all sorts of bits and pieces. So I was rather laden, and got to the hover, and then they said, sorry, you can't get on this hover. And there was a medical emergency in Ryde. Somebody had been, a cyclist had been knocked down along the Esplanade, and the air ambulance had actually arrived, I understand, and had come down onto where the hovercraft comes in. It had landed there apparently, but I don't know what happened, because an ambulance came, and they were commandeering the hovercraft to take the person from the island to Southampton Hospital. So we had to wait, but you don't mind waiting when it's an emergency like that. The next hover was about half an hour later. You know, if it was any of your loved ones, you would want that to happen. So, you know, it was perfectly okay to sit and wait. It did mean that I missed the train that I was going to get. It did mean that the passenger assist that I booked, I wasn't on the train that I was supposed to be on. But then it just shifts, and you just announce yourself when you get the other side, and then they say, then they phone each station to say where I need the help, where I need the ramps on and off the train, and usually it sorts itself out. It was a bit bumpy in the road, but I got there. I got on and off trains okay. I did miss one train because another train, because I was getting off a train, and I knew I didn't have much leeway on the time from one to the other. And one of the guys who saw me off the train, he said, go in the lift, go down here, come up over there, and my colleague will be over there to get you on the train, on the next train. Well, his colleague was over there, but I couldn't see where he was. He was standing right out down the end of a very dark station. And by the time I spotted where he was, because the guy across on the other platform yelled and said, oh, you need to go that way, the train had gone. But it didn't matter, because there was another 15 minutes, and then there was another train. And as long as, you know, there's somebody to help me on and there's somebody to help me off, it works out all right. Sometimes even if the station staff aren't there, there are usually some very lovely, helpful passengers that will help me, but mostly it's, if they can put the ramp up, it makes it much easier for me to get on and off, rather than, don't forget, I had 6 extra bags. I had 6 bags and a trolley, but I got there. Right, so Ailey's saying I sent her the link for the Church on the Roundabout at the beginning of lockdown, and you also follow my brother. Yeah, that's excellent. Do you know that there's also unicorns beside Loch Ness? Yes, well, I think I might have heard that there were. I think so. So anyway, so I got back and my daughter was there to pick me up once I communicated which train I was actually coming in on at what time, and there she was to pick me up, and I was back with them. So then, you know, no peace, no rest for the wicked, because if you've been watching me regularly, you'll know that they have been challenging me to make all these little chocolate orange cozies, ones that go on the chocolate oranges. Yes, and I haven't got many to show you because as I've been completing the orders, they've been passing them on and getting the money in for the fundraising. So I've just done my last Christmas pudding, but do you know, I've knitted so many Christmas puddings, and my daughter, she likes this particular Christmas pudding pattern because the cream is coming down. Look, on some of them it's just a straight line here, but on this one it looks like the cream's dripping down. So she likes that, and it's got sparkly white wool on the top, you know, sparkly cream. So that's a little bit fiddly. It's not too fiddly, but it's a little bit fiddly. This bit is dead easy. That bit's dead easy. This bit's a little bit fiddly. I have done, I don't know how many of these. About 20 of them, something like that. This was the last. No, this is the last one. And you know, I made a mistake. I made a mistake on this bit where you know have to change the bits and pieces here. And what happens? Let me show you. On the back, you have to loop the wool going across, right? So that you get that sort of pattern on the other side. But you have to be careful not to pull that too tightly, or it will make the thing all bunch up. And so I was, you know, I have to twist it and just wrap it round and twist it. There's a bit of a way of doing it. And I did that almost one of the last rows before I got to doing all white, and I'd made a mistake. And I tried to, as I was unpicking it, I dropped stitches. I had the most, I don't know, it just made itself knot up where I was trying to unravel, where I twisted the wool to, you know, around the back to stop holes coming, you know, because you have to twist it as you change colours. It just, I said to my daughter, it took me 40 minutes to unpick the row that had gone wrong because it was all, the wool was all wrapped round each other, you know, as I'd gone. It would have been quicker to take the whole lot off the needles and start again, because I could make a whole one in an hour, and I could have just pulled it off and done that. But that was the shenanigans. But you know what? It is what it is. Ailey says she loves my beautiful work. Ailey does a lot of beautiful work herself. Thank you. You think more people should share their work on the community page. You remember years ago, the community page was always full of arts, crafts, knitting projects and pattern. Yes, so Ailey's talking about the Go Live Granny community group on Facebook, and actually there's a lot of members in there, but not a lot of people are putting anything up. Ailey puts stuff up, but not many other people are. So if any of you want to be active in that group, please do. I think, you know, obviously in COVID, there were a lot of people as part of the Go Live Granny community. Then life changes. You know, we come out of COVID and some people move on and do different things. It's life in general. People always move on and have different challenges and different things. But it would be nice if we could put a few more things in there. So that would be nice. Anyway, so going back to these. So that's all right. She's saying thank you, Lynn. So when I'm thinking I'm coming to the end of the big long list of all the chocolate orange covers I've got to do, suddenly there's, Granny, this teacher wants one. She's going to let me know tomorrow what she wants. And then, this person wants it. And then my daughter came in and said, so-and-so, she wants an owl, a dinosaur, a tortoise, a snowman, a couple of Christmas puddings, and something else. And so it goes on. So Patricia, very, very kind. So Patricia, who's in the broadcast here, very kindly funded this calendar. Okay, you need to do another road trip when your new car. Oh yes, absolutely. Oh, Jacqueline says we'll need to do another road trip when her new car comes. We used to do quite a lot of road trips. What year was that, Jacqueline, when we were doing the road trips? I can't remember what year that was. Ailey saying let's start 2025 with plenty of posting on the community page. We'll see what we can do. So this is a calendar. Oh no, this was not the one. This was Tea Cozy Folk Calendar 2024. And although it's Tea Cozy, the lady who makes tea cozies also makes all these chocolate orange cozies. Okay, so this was not the one that Patricia bought. Patricia bought the 2025 one for me, which is brilliant, and it's got lots of chocolate oranges in there. I was thinking the owl is on the 2025 one. It's not. Look, there's the owl. So somebody wanted the owl. So the owl is there. It's not quite finished. He's got to have his eye, the middle bit of his eye is stitched in. But that is a chocolate orange cover. I haven't tried it on a chocolate orange. Let's put it on. Yes, look. There we go. So there's a nice owl with his chocolate collagen. And so that was another ball of wool. I bought this. My daughter popped me into Hobbycraft, and I saw that, and I thought that's very owl-like, isn't it? Very owl-like. So we've had that. And then the dinosaur, she wanted a dinosaur, and I found a chocolate orange cover for a dinosaur. Which I just purchased today. I don't mind purchasing because I will use it again and again and again. And it's a digital download, so I haven't got to wait for it to come or anything. So I will be knitting a dinosaur, which also could be double as a Loch Ness monster. So I've got that sort of mottle. That's a bit mottly, and I thought that would make a nice dinosaur. And then I'm going to make some spikes out of a different colour to go down his back. So that would be lovely. I've got some bobble hats to make that are chocolate orange covers, so I think I might do it with that wool, and we'll do some furry wool around the edge of the bobble hat, which I could actually take out of here. Look, that white in there. That's a fluffy wool, so I could use some of I could cut the white bit out and use that round the edge. And then put a pom-pom on those. And then I expect tomorrow. My granddaughter to come back from school and probably say, "Oh, well, this teacher wants this and this teacher wants that." I do have to complete this week what I'm doing for them. School finishes on Friday, and I we've decided that everything that needs to be done this week, because actually I am moving from family members to family members, so that's what I need to do. So I've got to complete those knittings before Friday. Next Sunday I may not live stream next Sunday, but it may have to be Monday, because I think we do a Past the Granny. Next Friday, I think it's Past the Granny. So I don't know where I should, not Friday, Sunday. I don't know where I shall be. We shall just see. So I know that, right, so let's go back a bit. Jacqueline's saying it was a long time ago when we went on our road trip. It was a very long time ago, Jacqueline. I'll see if I can find any references to it. Jacqueline is saying, Susan, are you up to come too? Because Jacqueline, of course, is on the Isle of Wight, and Susan's on the Isle of Wight. Susan saying, sounds good, depending when. Ailey loves the owl. Your CB name back in the 70s was Night Owl. Oh, right, okay. And Ailey remembers me making Loch Ness monster smoothie hats. That's right. So once Christmas is over, I will be making smoothie hats again, because the smoothie campaign for Age UK has started, and I had a letter, or I noticed something the other day from Age UK Isle of Wight, and they are desperate to keep the funds going, to make sure that, sort of people of my generation are well looked out for on the Isle of Wight. I mean, Age UK is a national charity, but if we do our smoothie hats and give them in for Age UK on the Isle of Wight, that's an independent charity separate from the main charity. So, if we do that for the island, in the past we've raised 6,600 via our smoothie hats. where they used to pay, Innocent Smoothie used to pay 25 pence for each hat. They've now upped it to 30 pence for each hat. And Age UK, they were putting out how much it cost to do certain things. And I thought, well, you know, I'm sure that some of us can make some hats for that to help with those. I said, we can't send them money now, but what we can do is do hats. And they said, yes, anything you can do would be amazing. And of course, those hats are smaller than these. You know, they're the little small hats that go on the smoothie bottles. So don't even take as much work as this. They're much smaller. And so I should be doing those after Christmas. Before Christmas and after the chocolate oranges covers are done, I've got a few knitting assignments that I need to do for my own grandchildren and, you know, and other members of my family. But you know I love it. You know I love it. And you know I'm never far with, you know, from my knitting needles. The only trouble was my fingers started to split again a bit in the cold weather, but I've been creaming them and I've got some really good hand cream and I keep putting hand cream on and it's keeping the cuts at bay, fortunately. So I will, you know, be keep creaming, keep up creaming. Let's have a look what's gone on here. So Susan's saying she would like to join us, depends when, as when we go on a road trip. And Jacqueline should hear soon when she gets her new car. That would be nice. And I can remember it was around when we went out on our road trip, it was around Remembrance Day, because I remember Jacqueline driving me up and down in Gurnard, and I was popping in and out of the car doing lots of live streaming and photographs of all the poppies that were around the island back then. So anyway, Susan will see whether she can join us. It's even a longer time ago Lynn took a day trip to Fort William and got caught in the rain. Well, that the day trip of Fort William, Lisa said earlier, that was 2003. So, but I don't know, I can't remember when Jacqueline and I went out, but I'll find a reference to it somewhere, I'm sure, as to when we did road trips together. I know I can look on my some of my YouTube videos, because I'm sure I could find it there, because I did some YouTube stuff there, didn't I? So Ailey's saying knitting for charity is always very rewarding. Smoothie hats you cast on 26 or 28 stitches. Absolutely, you did. Yes, so if anybody wants to knit smoothie hats, either for Age UK Isle of Wight or for your own local areas, there are lots of patterns. If you just if you Google the big knit, all the information is there. Now, what is Tracy asking me? Did you find hands went better after you stopped using the rubber gloves? Was it the rubber gloves that caused? Do you know what, Tracy? I think it did too. I found a new pair of rubber gloves with a lining. So yeah, so you're talking about, I have cuts and then I have, sometimes it goes itchy. And that's what happened. It went itchy. And in a previous broadcast, Tracy said, maybe it's your rubber gloves. And I think it must have been, because they've stopped itching. I put a lot of cream on them anyway, but it stopped itching. And it's just the cuts come when the weather's cold. Even if I wear gloves, you know, I wear gloves. So even indoors, when it's cold outside, my hands tend to split, but I just keep creaming and creaming, and I've got some nice cream that doesn't get all greasy on my knitting and that. So, you know, that was something that I got, you know, and that seems to be working. So there we go. Ailey grew up in Fort William, so yes, my hands are not so itchy. Was the answer, Tracy. Heather's been listening while she bakes. She's done from that for right now, so you can comment again. Oh, right, Heather. What are you baking, Heather? Do tell us what you're baking. And look, Jacqueline's put in a link there, so those of you who are watching in can go click on that link. And Jacqueline's put there ageuk.org.uk Isle of Wight /about us /latest news, big knit is back. So there we go. So Jacqueline, again, if you can drop that one into my messenger box, I can share it out easily without having to go all the way back through the comments that we've been making for the last hour and 40 minutes. So that would be amazing if you could do that. And then this afternoon, so I got back, you know, and I've been busy doing the chocolate oranges, helping out, doing whatever I can for the family. You know, I'm here to support for various reasons. And then this afternoon, we went to a Christingle service because my daughter's a beaver leader, and the beavers and the cubs, all the scout movement, the beavers and the cubs and all that, they made Christingles. So if you don't know what a Christingle is, this is a Christingle. Well, this is not a complete Christingle because this did have some sweeties on here. It's got raisins on here, and there were sweeties on here, but they have disappeared. So this we have services in church around the Christingle. So this is what they call a Christingle, right? And the orange represents the world. And can you help me with this, folks? I'm going to get stuck here now. These are the seasons. The 4 seasons comes there. This represents Jesus. I think this is, now I thought that was blood. I'm trying to remember what the vicar said today about it. If anybody can help me with those last bits to do with that, that would be amazing. Check the community page to see smoothie hats she sent. Yeah, so Ailey's put her smoothie hats on the community page. Heather bakes around 2,500 cookies every Christmas. You make up trays for friends and family. What a wonderful homemade gifts are the best, always the best. Heather gives them away. So yes, always the best. I love, do you know, things that my children made me at school, I've still kept from, you know, my 50-year-old son. I got a little something that he made out of plaster of Paris or something like that on my shelf at home. And any of those special things that they made when they were at school, I tried to keep them all. Because they are so precious and special, you know. So anyway, just if somebody can find a link to the meaning of Christingle, that would be helpful, because I'm tired and my memory is not doing me justice at the moment. And this is the Christingle service. So we sang some carols. Oh, Come All Ye Faithful. And then the Advent candles were lit, and then there was a Christingle hymn, and I've forgotten, it was a very popular tune. And I didn't know the Christingle hymn, not heard that before, but they sing Christingle, sorry, I can't do it justice because I'm terrible at singing, but it was a very popular tune, but with the words for Christingle. Then we had some prayers, and then we had We Three Kings of Orient Are, and then so what happened, we went early. My daughter took me early, and I was just sitting with my knitting in the church because all the beavers and the squirrels and no. Yes, a lot of them had been asked to come early to actually make the Christingles, to put the Christingles together like that. So they were making them before the service, and then during the service they were all given one. Here we are, thank you, Kath. The objective Christingle is a candle in an orange that's decorated with a red ribbon and dried fruit or sweets. The orange represents the world, the red ribbon symbolises Jesus' love, and the sweets represent the gifts from God. Thank you, Kath. I knew somebody would come up with the answer for me. It's wonderful. Sing Hosanna, that's right. Oh, Tracy, did you recognise that from my singing? That was unbelievable, because my siblings always told me what a horrible voice I had and how awful I was at singing. So I'm absolutely very honoured that you could actually work out what that was, unless you already knew it. Maybe you already knew what tune they sing it to. Ailey's got to go. She's got to catch up soon. She uses orange cut in half as wild bird feeders. Remove the orange segments and fill the inside with orange fats and nuts and leftover fruits and veg. Good idea too. And Susan says she recognised it too. And Susan's a musician, so I feel totally honoured. Thank you, Susan. So that was wonderful. Oh yes, we finished with Away in a Manger. So the Christingles were given out, and then we had the Christingle, so a little bit around the Christingle. No, that's right. The vicar, he actually he talked about the Christingles and what they meant and all of that. But before the service, while they were making the Christingles, it was really interesting because I was knitting, and a lady came over to me to ask me what I was knitting, and I showed her it was this one that had fallen off the needles, and I told her what I was knitting and why I was doing it, and then we got into conversation, and it turned out, and they'd not long they came this year to the area that I'm in. Kath's got to go now. Night, Kath. I know Kath's had a busy time, so sleep well, Kath. Tracy didn't know it. She said she worked it out by my singing, so well done. Do you know what? I can't believe it. I hardly sang anything there, but you got it. And so that, I feel a bit like doing that to my siblings because they were always so horrible about my singing. And there we are. You, my wonderful audience, recognised what I was trying to tell you. Amazing. Whoa, I feel very pleased. Thank you. And so that's made my day, Anyway, so I was chatting to this lady, and it turned out that she was the vicar's wife, and this was their first Christmas in this church, and I said, I live on the Isle of Wight, but I used to live in London, and she said, whereabouts in London did you live? And it turns out I grew up in Ealing and Ealing Broadway. And she said, oh, my husband was the vicar at St Mary's in South Ealing. I said, oh, I know it, the church on the bend. And so, isn't it, it's incredible. The number of people I've met in my life who said, oh, I used to live in London. And I said, so did I. And I mean, London's a big place. The chances are what, but so many of them said, oh, yes, I live, so near where I lived. So I was in London until I was 50, and I came to the island. I went to the island because I'm not on the island. I went to the island when I was 50, and I'm 74 now. So I'll be 75 in 2025. So that's how long I've been down there. The Bible says to make a joyful noise. I personally like your singing voice. Oh, thank you. And you know what? You say joyful noise. Joy, there, out of the joyful, is one of my middle names. So there we go. I do have joy, and I don't care if people don't like my singing. They don't have to listen, do they? The greatest gift is the gift of Jesus. Keep using the word Christ in Christmas. There we go. Thank you for that, Ailey, as well. That's amazing. So I am going to go in a minute, and I'm going to go and get on with I've got to find a tortoise chocolate orange cover. Now what I probably can do is make the main part of one. If I can't find, I think I probably will find the tortoise, but I am sure that I can make one of the main bits that goes over the orange, one of the ones that's just like a bauble. I can do that, and then I can find, hello Yvonne, nice to see you. Yvonne is responsible, for lots of knitting people around the country, helping with all the charity stuff we've done for knitting. Because when I started live streaming in COVID, because when I was a live streamer initially, it was to promote the Isle of Wight. When the COVID hit, my audience wanted me to live stream, but I couldn't live stream carnivals and things around the island because there were no carnivals and things going on around the island. So I live streamed from home, and one of the things that I could live stream was knitting because that's what I knew. So I showed people my knitting projects, And because Yvonne is a great knitter, Yvonne and I met in the cafe at St Mary's Hospital. And I was in the cafe having had an appointment there one day, and she came in the cafe with her husband, and she sat on the next table, and I sat on this table, and I had my knitting on the table, and she smiled at me. Little did I know at that point that she used to run a wool shop or a craft. I don't know if it's craft wool or wool and craft. And so, you know, a great friendship was cemented at that point. We became great friends. We smiled at each other, and then we chatted, and then we became, you know, we became great friends. And so when I was live streaming in COVID about all the knitting projects that we started to do, Yvonne started sharing my live streams into all the knitting groups, and that's how we got lots of people around the country joining us and doing knitting and sending their knitting to us for charities, and it's been amazing. Elizabeth is saying, how is Yvonne? I know that Yvonne hasn't been all that well, but we I think she's well at the moment. Yvonne, can you let us know? Yvonne and I have been trying to catch up, because we sort of we've been both so busy, or not, you know, not with enough, we haven't had the calls that we used to have. So we tried to plan a FaceTime call yesterday, and then Shenanigans happened and it didn't work. No, or yesterday, no, or Friday, something happened and it didn't work. So we were going to have it today, and then something else happened and it didn't work. So hopefully tomorrow. Oh, there we are. She's saying she's doing okay, thanks. Look, she's coming on on YouTube, and she's doing okay, thanks. So tomorrow, it all being well, Yvonne and I will do a FaceTime with each other, and then I can keep you more up to date. But yes, it would be really good to see you again, Yvonne, because Yvonne used to be able to come over. She used to come and spend a day with me. We did crafting at my house together. You know, we became such good friends, and her husband used to bring her over and drop her off, and then off he'd go, and then he'd come back and get her later. But then life changed. He wasn't very well, and he's not driving now. But you know, I understand that he's doing okay, but not driving. So obviously he can't bring her to me, and so that was more difficult. So we now it's down to FaceTime, good old FaceTime. So we will get on FaceTime and catch up with each other, which is amazing. You know, I've got other friends who've moved away, and we will FaceTime because we don't want to lose touch with each other. And it's just amazing. I can remember years and years and years ago, and when my children were small, so I'm with my daughter at the moment, her family. When my children were small, I can remember my first husband saying to me, one day you'll be able to see the people that you're talking to on the telephone. And I just thought, oh, wow. And of course, you know, it is just one of those things. And here, not only that, we can live stream as well. I mean, this is amazing, you know, and to be able to live stream and Zoom call with people the other side of the world, it's just amazing, isn't it, how the technology has, you know, just jumped forward in my lifetime. You know, some of the things that I'm having great fun watching on Facebook, where there's one of the pages I watch, and it's where they put up things from the olden days, you know, like when we were younger and smaller, and the things. The other day they put a cassette tape. I've forgotten what the funny line was about it, but it was a cassette tape getting caught up in the works of the machine. And it was something they likened it to Spotify not working or something. I can't remember what it was. Some of you saw it and you liked it because I shared it. And lots of things from the past. You know, it's just so many funny things that happened back then that, you know, our children and our grandchildren, you know, just can't believe all these things. You know, what I think the cassette, it was something like a playlist. Oh, I think the cassette was supposed to be a playlist, like today it would be a playlist on Spotify. This I can't quite remember. It did amuse me very much at the time, which is why I shared it. But there are lots and lots of those things, you know, Do you recognise this? Do you know what this is? Can you remember? And oh, it brings back so many happy memories. So anyway, folks, I'm getting to the end of the broadcast. 1 hour 53 minutes. I think that's probably quite a good time for me to be chatting so long. I need to go and get myself a drink. I didn't bring a drink up with me. And then I was looking around for a glass or something, because I usually have one in my bedroom. I thought, well, where's that gone? And then, of course, that's where it's gone. I stood the Christingle in it. It's not got anything in it, but there's a tap over there. But I'm going to go and get a drink downstairs. So there we go. But the sweets that are missing over here, one of my granddaughter's pinches, she was helping making the Christingles, but she knows that I'm doing Slimming World, so she knows I wouldn't have wanted to eat the jelly tots that were on here, so it was okay that she pinched my jelly tots, and I didn't care. So, folks, I hope that you're going to have a wonderful week. Now, remember, I'm not sure about live streaming next week, because it is the day they pass the granny from one family to the next. Thank you, Heather. She's saying, thank you so much, Lynn. Sweet dreams and restful sleep. I do sleep very well. Mind you, I had a really strange dream, and I woke up this morning, and normally I don't remember my dreams, but I can remember that I was moving house. That's probably because one of my friends my friends have recently moved house. So I was moving house. I was moving out of my accommodation and moving in with one of my friends. I don't know who it wasn't. It wasn't anybody I recognised, but it probably was one of my friends. But in a dream it all changes. And then we were in this old-fashioned house with all the old-fashioned wallpaper, the old-fashioned carpets and that, and a bit damp, smelly, and all that. And I think I thought, where am I going to put all my wool? And then I woke up. So I don't know. I am not intending to move house. I've just had my new stair lift. I've just had my lovely new bathroom. I've got some new furniture where I'm trying to put all the, trying to get my craft stuff all neat and tidy. An ongoing project forever, I think. But, so I will be. I don't know when I'll be there, but I'll be there when I'm there. Shane's saying he's going in on Friday for his op. Shane, I hope everything goes well for you on Friday. We will pray that that goes well. Heather is adding you to her prayers as well, so that's lovely. So hopefully, you will let us know how it goes in due course. But for now, I think that's it. I'm going to wind up, go and have a sit down. I think I'm going to watch a Christmas movie. I've got through quite a few Christmas movies. Oh, but we didn't actually say much about Strictly tonight. It was so. Oh yes, we did mention Strictly, didn't we? And so it was just lovely. The Strictly results. I just so enjoyed that. It's a program I could probably watch again and again and again. But next Saturday it will be the Strictly Christmas. It's just one-off Christmas show. But the results will be on the same day. So as I say, I don't know. I might not be. They might not be passing the granny. We haven't confirmed the date of pass the granny, but I think it might be Sunday. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Watch this space. If I don't do a live stream on Sunday, I'll try and do it. Keep an eye on my Facebook page. Strictly Christmas is normally on Christmas. Oh, yes. I beg your pardon, Susan. Oh, is it on Christmas? Yes, I think you're right. You might be right, Susan. I might be wrong. It might not be on Saturday. It probably is on Christmas Day. Yes, I expect you're right. I expect I haven't got that right. Never mind. Don't worry. You can look it up. Somebody can Google it and find out. So I haven't looked. And what I like is that, the fact that whatever's on, you can watch on catch up, because I used to hate it when all these wonderful things were on Christmas, but oh no, we can't have the TV on at the moment because we're doing this and that and that. So now catch-up TV is amazing, isn't it? That you can just do these things and watch whatever you want, whenever you want. Casualty is back next Saturday, so they have advertised. All right, I used to watch Casualty, but I don't watch that these days. Oh, I haven't watched that sort of thing for a long time. I've been watching lots of Christmas movies on the Hallmark Christmas movies on YouTube, and then but sometimes I'll be watching it if I've recommended it to one of my friends, and because so some of my friends and I we're sharing what we're watching on the Christmas movies. That's okay because then I've got a record of what I was watching. But sometimes I've been watching and I've either fallen asleep. Mostly not. I've had to stop it to go and do something else. For example, I was watching a Christmas movie when Strictly came on last night, and I wanted to watch Strictly while it was actually live. So I stopped watching the movie. Then when I finished Strictly, I couldn't remember what movie I had been watching. So I haven't seen the end of it because I couldn't remember what it was called. So now I'm trying to make a note before, as I start a movie, trying to make a note of what it is, so I remember if I stop halfway through that I can go back and watch the end of it. Yesterday I put a movie on and I was halfway through it, and then I thought, I've seen this movie before, but it wasn't this year, so I carried on watching it because I could, and and it was a nice movie and I watched it all the way through. But there's been some lovely movies on there. Anyway, just coming up for the 2 hours. You've had 2 hours of me chatting and burbling and whatever. So I think you probably, your ears probably need a rest, and my throat certainly needs a rest. YouTube should show in your history, but have seen that it doesn't always just like you. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Well, I couldn't find it. I went back to try and find it in the history, and it wasn't there. But of course, don't forget, I'm also watching on my family's TVs, and they've got more than one. They've got a family room there and a family room there, so they've got more than one TV, and I don't like messing with them because they've got them logged in as themselves, So on one of them it's okay, I go in as my daughter, but it predicts and it starts telling you what you might want to watch, and I really don't want to upset it for my son-in-law, and he suddenly get recommendations for all the things I want to watch because we don't watch the same things at all. So I think you know what I mean. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to go. We've gone over the 2 hours now. I think that you've had enough of me here on this Sunday evening. So I'm going to go and chill out, watch a movie, do some more knitting. I might start the dinosaur. I think I fancy starting. No, I better finish the Christmas pudding, haven't I? And these 2 Christmas puddings. No, there's 3 Christmas puddings here, and they all need holly and a berry. Then I can go on and make the dinosaur. But for now, I'm going to love you and leave you. And it is, and I'm going to give the correct, because last week I told you it was the 10th, and it wasn't the 10th. It was only the 8th. And now it's the 15th, I think. I'm right. Night, everybody. Take care and see you all again soon. I will try and make it next Sunday night. If not, watch out. Watch, and hopefully you'll see it come up. I tell you what, if I'm not going to... What I'll do is I'll put a message on my Facebook page. Mind you, I don't know that everybody sees that. But anyway... If you're not sure, send me a message and I'll see if I can tell you. Night, everybody. Thank you all. There we are. Everyone's saying night, sweet dreams. And Yvonne, you and I will chat tomorrow. Patricia, night. Lynn and everyone, she's saying. Yes, so that's lovely. Thank you, everybody, for your time. Have a wonderful week. And if I don't speak to you before, have a wonderful Christmas. But I am going to try and be live streaming before the big day. So, night. Oops, let's go. End it. No, it's not going. That's the trouble of these nails. It's really hard to push the button that says end the live stream because the nails get in the way.